The only reason that Daquan left me was because that girl has ass shots. Literally, her butt is big, she has big breasts, but she don't have anything on me. Like, when he was with me, I motivated him, I pushed him to do what he needed to do, and you know what I'm saying, he got over me, he left me, or whatever like that, but best believe he's gonna come back because she cannot pull out of him what I put out of him. Like, I know that I can make him be a real man.
Wrong! Women's perception that because they're different, because of their personality, because of what they bring to the table, that can bring different things out of men is totally, utterly false. I wish that we all had that type of mentor that taught us that a man's mind is totally different than a female's. We can't even begin to understand some of the things they think in the process of how they think. Like, women, we're overthinkers. We can think one thing at 1 minute and then break it down into a process and come to a conclusion, or assuming as they call it. While men, they think one thing and once the thought is gone, it's gone. So while we break down stuff and come to inferences or assume that this is why they did it, really, they do stuff sometimes with no thought behind it. So this video today is to let all my ladies know that we cannot change a man. A man will only produce what a female needs from him when his mind, when something clicks in his brain and says, I'm ready. It's not because you had the most money. It's not because you went to school and you got educated on how a relationship works. It's not because she got good, you know what? It's because he decided that at that point in his life, he had done all that he needed to do, that he prepared himself in the way he needed to be prepared, and that he was ready to get it popping. But get this, ladies, if a man couldn't get it right from you, it wasn't because you were less than or that you didn't obtain something that he needed. This doesn't take away from your dopeness. All it means is he was just not ready at that time. So don't walk away thinking that she has something that you don't. The best thing to do when a man is not ready is to walk away, because what you don't want to do is subject yourself to lessening your standards or behaving in a way or engaging with him in a way that you know is not you just for the sake of keeping someone. You don't want to accept a lesser version than the love that you deserve. So step one, understand that no woman has ever changed a man. She may have influenced him to want to change. He may have even told her, yo, you're such a good girl, you make me want to change. But at the end of the day, when a guy changes, it's because he wants to. Only the father figure that he had in his life can dictate and maintain how fast or how slow a guy's gonna take to grow up, wisen up, and realize that this is the kind of man he needs to be for his girl. And the only thing that can change that is time. Step two, set your standards, expectations, and desires. Be realistic, don't waver, but don't be smelling yourself neither. Be you in your fullness and let the right one come along organically. You don't want a guy to be attracted to you because of the way that you're presenting yourself, because you think this is what it takes to get a man. You have to be you at all times, because behind closed doors, when it's just you and him, that true person cannot be hidden. And if that's not the person he fell in love with, it's not gonna work. Step three, in the process of waiting for your man, find your niche and focus on that. You're never going to be happy with anybody, whether it's your soulmate, the right time, or the wrong timing, unless you have authentic fulfillment and enjoyment in the things that you are doing in your life. That's figuring out what your passion is. That's doing the things that you love, surrounding yourself around the people who you know care about you, and picking your brain at all times about what do you want? What do you deserve? Are you really ready? Do you know yourself enough to know what you're willing to accept and what you're not? And if you don't know the answer to these questions, then it's probably not time for you to find Mr. Right anyway. The key to healthy and successful relationships, whether it's intimate, on the job, friends, what have you, is having true inner peace and fulfillment of self. So don't walk around half empty or half full just for the sake of trying to find somebody. Don't walk around half empty and half full for the sake of waiting for him to change. And don't walk around half empty and half full because someone told you that your standards was too high. I read a quote on Twitter. It said, if he loves you, you'll know. If he doesn't love you, you'll be confused. And while that's partially true, that's not always the case, because some men really do think that they're loving you. They just don't know how. Or they don't have an understanding of what love truly is. So I say, if he is truly capable of loving and caring for you, you'll know. And if not, you'll be lost, confused, and wondering why you're not good enough.